Welcome once again to the Damon Floyd Coach Show here on the Buzz 101.3, where all of our coaches' interviews and our shows are brought to you by L&B Appliance on Durkee Road. We appreciate Mr. Josh Taylor and his continued support of Bradley Central football. Being joined now, as always, by Coach Damon Floyd. Damon, we've had 3 straight weeks of emotional games, come out on top of all of them. Had a different look at quarterback Friday night. We saw some different things happen, and some good things happened. As far as stats goes, the offense hit over 400 yards. We had some long pass plays and several key players. And Demarius Ballard, pretty effective at quarterback for you there Friday night.
Yeah, he was, and he's a kid that we watched growing up, and through middle school he'd played quarterback. When he got to high school, he had some injuries in middle school playing quarterback, so he was kind of reluctant not to play. And we begged him for a long time, and he didn't play his freshman year. He came out late his sophomore year and said, I just want to play receiver. And so we're like, man, if he'll play receiver, that's fine. But, we always knew he had the potential, and he played really well. And he also got some help from teammates. I mean, Jay Allen, he really broke the game open with the 75-yard touchdown run. And then, he hit some easy passes with Jarius. Or I shouldn't say easy, but he hit some passes with Jarius, and Jarius made them big plays and turned them into scores. So, it was one of those things that just kind of clicked and started rolling. And I think a lot of people deserve a lot of credit. That was obviously offensive line, those kind of things. But it was nice to finally hit some big plays and be explosive. And we knew we had that in us, so it was good to see that.
Well, it always starts the offensive line at any level of sports and football, so no matter what there. Jarius, we named him our player of the game. He had 3 receptions for 185 yards on just 3 receptions and 2 scores, and had a long of 73. Then he had a 57-yard, that's a 57-yard per catch average, which is sort of remarkable there. But he had 3 punt returns, and he's really just a dangerous weapon anytime that ball's in his hand. And the other team now has got to prepare for that and be concerned when they see us on film and try to scout him.
The best way I know to describe him is he's fearless. Like if the ball's in the air, he wants to get it, and he wants it in his hands, he wants to do something with it. So we love having the ball in his hands, and we got to try to find more ways to do that. And obviously punt return's one of them. I would imagine that people would start game planning and kicking away from him, and he may start drawing some double coverage, in the secondary too, which will open up some other things for us. So, like I said before, really happy the way he played, really happy the way a lot of people executed, not only on offense, but special teams were really, really good.
Yes, they were.
Defense, first half was really good, second half not so good. But, trying to put 4 quarters together, we cut down some penalties, so that was good to see. But still early in the season, and there's still some things that we need to correct, and, that's what we're working on in practice.
Well, I didn't realize this. I was looking at some stats yesterday. In the first half, we're averaging about 20 points per half, and the opponent's averaging 4 points per half. So we're doing really, really good, coming out good. And as you mentioned, Jay Allen Terry, that's our play of the game last week. He had that 75, 76-yard run right off the bat there, and man, when he gets out there, and it was clear to see, and you're right there on that sideline seeing when he breaks containment, he's gone. I mean, nobody's going to catch him. He's fast.
Yeah, once he gets in open field, it's fun to watch. Now, the thing is that as a coach, I sit there and look at everybody else like, is there any flags? Nobody hit anybody in the back.
Of course.
And, he also had another long touchdown run that was called back. It was a great execution by everyone on the field. I'll just say that, but it did get called back. But he's very explosive, and we want to get the ball in his hands as much as possible too. And that's the good thing is we got some guys that we got to spread it around. We still got some other guys that need to touch it more too. But that's a good problem to have. And I think the thing about it is all the guys on our team, they've bought into the team. They're not so worried about the stats. Now everybody wants stats, and I get it, and you should, but I'm telling you, our guys care about each other, and it's all about the team, and they want the team to have success. And those individuals are going to have success because you have a good team. So they understand that, and that's the part I love every day going to practice with these guys is that they're for each other, and that's cool to see. It's
obvious to see that too out there on the field. They get real emotional and supporting each other and all that. Our defense once again was really solid. I thought Hester, their quarterback, was 5 of 9. 67 yards, but 59 yards of those was on 1 pass. So you take away 59 yards. So he had 4 other completions for a total of 8 yards.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, man, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and that was the frustrating part is I think they had maybe 30 yards the whole first half, and then the last play before the half they get that big reception, which the other frustrating part of that is we knew it was coming. We knew it was going to screen and go, and we just missed a tackle. So those things can't happen if we're going to, have the success that we want to have as a team. And then defensively, like you said, we played really, really good the first half, and then the second half, it's kind of like we had a let-up. And, I know it's human nature, but it's like I've told them, the good teams, Maryville, those teams, they put teams away, and we were unable to do that. Now, you got to give McMahon credit. They did do some adjusting where they got some things that kind of gapped us a little bit, But really, it came down to us missing a couple of tackles in one-on-one situations that can't happen. So, still working on those things. And the good thing is our guys come in, Sunday for payday and watch film and accountability, and they're looking to get better too. So, I tell them, look, you're going to make mistakes. We just got to limit them. And if it is a mistake, if it is a mistake, it doesn't need to go for 60.
Yeah.
If they get a 15-yard run, it's not the end of the world. They're going to make plays too. So, but really happy with the first half.
Yeah. Well, we only had 5 penalties. I thought that's very manageable. The only one that hurt us was the one right before the half where they let them keep the drive alive and kick that field goal there as the clock ran out there. But other than that, played good. Was missing Gage Anderson, of course, on defense. But Knock Watson had 13 tackles. And A.J. had 5 along with Ken Rehagen and J.D. Kirkpatrick. So you had some really good backups there. And now Rodney Williams has gone down. So here again, next man up mentality, as you always say. We got to work it out.
I hate it for Rodney because he worked so hard in the off season. He came, he plays basketball, so he came before school at 6 in the morning to get his workouts in, and just as a 3-year starter, he started some as a freshman. So really valuable player for us. Really smart kid. He would make all the calls up front. So him going down, not only for the game but losing for the year, just it hurts because he's such a good kid and really a good player. So the cool thing about it is his twin brother we're moving him from a bandit position where he was playing with Gage Anderson to Rodney's spot. So him and Ken and Rehagen will kind of share some duties there, and we'll let it play out and see who does well, and the one that does the best will stay in there. So Jackson's still out. Like you said, Gage is still out. Hope to get these guys back in a couple of weeks, but it's the way it is, man. Nobody feels sorry for you. There's other teams dealing with the same thing, so there's no excuses. It's time for the next guy to step in and step up, so hopefully they do that.
Well, we hope so too. We'll take a quick break right here. We'll be back after we hear this word from L&B Appliance on Durkee Road, where they can provide all your appliance needs there. Back here with Coach Floyd Show. Let's talk about the Hawks, the Hardin Valley Academy Hawks up there right off the Pellissippi Parkway in Knoxville. We've been there one time. They came here one time. We played 3 times total. 3 times total as we played them here last year. 2-1 we won here. I remember when we went up there, 7-0, ranked in the top 5, I think. And guess what? We went up there unbeaten, 7-0. We come back with a 14-13 loss.
Yeah. That's the game that Cole hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
Was unable to throw and had some breaks that didn't go our way, and we lost a tough one. Now they were pretty good and they were pretty talented. They had some multiple Division I players on there, but it was a huge win for them, and similar to what we're going into this week. Really, I mean, we haven't lost a game. I don't think they've had as much success as they wanted, but it'll be a tough place to play, and they're playing really hard and they're coached well. And one of the things that worries me is coming off 3 emotional rivals.
Right.
Is like it's hard. I mean, let's just be honest. In reality, it's hard for humans to get back up for a 4th week. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was part of our problem last year. We went out last year at 7-0 at half, and I thought we had the better team last year. So just making sure that our guys understand it's really not about the opponent. And I know this is coaches speak, but it's true. It's about us. We have to go in and just continue to execute. If we play like we did in the second half, we're going to get beat. We've got to play like we did in the first half, and it's got to be for 4 quarters. And it's a region game, so there's a lot on the line. And this sets us up for the playoffs, and hopefully our guys will be excited.
Well, they've got a new coach this year, a guy named Jeff Miner, who came over from Oak Ridge as a defensive coordinator. Do you know anything at all about him or his style of play? Because I was talking to a good friend of mine this weekend and said he was the best coach on the Oak Ridge staff last year by far, he thought. So now he's the head coach there at Hardin Valley, and I'm sure he's got plans to resuscitate. They only won one game last year. Didn't make the playoffs, of course, but he's got plans to resuscitate that program and get them back up there. And
I don't know him personally. I've heard a lot of good things about him. He was at Oak Ridge for a while, and obviously Oak Ridge had a ton of success while he was there. So I can tell on film that his guys are lining up the right way. They're playing the right way. That he's trying to build a program, obviously, and that takes a little time. And turning around from where they were, I think they're probably on the right track. But like I said before, it's really about us doing our job.
Right.
And coach is cliche again, but the team that makes the fewest mistakes, the teams that turns it over the fewest, that's the team that's probably going to win. And the thing about it is they're a 6A football team. Mm-hmm. Any 6A football team can beat us if we don't play well. And I'm sure they're telling their guys the same thing. So it'll be a battle, and our kids have to understand it's going to be a 4-quarter game, and that's what we got to prepare for.
Well, I was talking to a friend over the weekend. He said they've almost 2,500 kids at Hardin Valley. That is a huge school. Matter of fact, he says the chatter's already going on about building another new high school in West Knoxville to help, spread them out there and make it easier to accommodate the kids there. You came into a program here at Bradley. The year before we'd won one game. You took over here. You were assistant on that staff. What's the challenge facing Coach Miner? I mean, where do you start at? I mean, how do you?
It's everything.
Well, I know that. But what's the biggest challenge part of that? Getting kids to come out to play. I mean,
that was here, and I'm not sure exactly what it is there, but here it was. Our wrestling team was really good. Yep. Which they still are. Our basketball team was just coming off state finals appearances. So we felt like we had talent in the school. They just weren't playing football. Yep. So we recruited our hallways really hard. And I think if you go through the school now, for the most part, most of the kids that we need to be playing football are playing football. And let's be honest, if you're going to win, it takes good players. Yeah. So
not just coaching, huh?
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Every team on our schedule, you line up, they're getting coached well. Yeah. The difference is the players make plays, and coaches get way too much credit. And you may do some things that can just design a play here or there, but it's the players that make plays. So I would assume that when he gets all the kids out that he wants, not taking anything away from their kids, because like I said, they can beat us, but. And they have some talented kids, but our problem here at Bradley was that all the kids didn't play football.
Right.
We're in a situation now where I feel like most of the kids in the school play football, the ones that we need. So.
And success breeds success. I mean, it gets people wanting to be involved, playing. It affects the whole school, the emotion of the school, and the crowd, and the Bear Nation, the families.
And I'll say this too. So like you take a Tito Williams, a Marcus Gore, a Rodney, a Jackson, those guys. This is their third year. They've been playing for 3 years, and they've been in our system.
Plus middle school too together.
Well, but they've been in our system for 3 years.
In your system.
Where in Hardin Valley, those guys are just now learning their system. So there's things that, I talk to our DBs all the time, and honestly, they make a lot of our calls. I give them the freedom, like when you're on the field, like you make the call, but they know what I'm thinking. Yeah. They've been with me for 3 years, so that's something else that Hardin Valley, they'll get to. It just takes time and it takes experience, and you can't do that in three or four games. So. That's another advantage.
Well, after this week, we got an open week, and as you mentioned, we'll get some of the walking wounded healed up, and we'll come back on the road again at Bearden, another region game for us. So that's going to be tough there. Rodney, we lost him, so we hope Gage and also Jackson will be back for the Bearden game if things work out okay there then.
Yeah, I mean, they're out this week. I think Gage for sure, because he's, he had a severely sprained ankle, and it's getting better. If he had to play this week, he could probably play, but I think it's, I mean, after we got an open week next week, and then you got 5 games for the stretch run. We need him healthy. We don't need him banged up. Jackson, to be quite honest, I'm a little worried that it may be more, but we'll find out from an MRI. And but hopefully we get those guys back, and because they're two key components to our team, and we need them.
Well, we've always had a consistent kicking, too, of Grant Haney going on, and he did a good job again Friday. Spencer Sullins, the McMinn County punter and kicker, one of the best probably the best we've seen all year long. He's got several D1 offers. I found it during the game. A guy was texting me from McMinn County, said, "Hey, he's going to go big time." And he had over 40-yard average on punting. He put 3 kicks into the end zone for touchbacks, and that's a huge weapon. Like Rodney Williams, we had a kick return, and he got hurt on that kick return. If you're kicking into the end zone, you don't have to worry about those hard collisions, I guess.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
It's part of the game. You can't go out there and play in fear, and we're definitely not going to do that. But it's part of the game. Their kicker is very good, and you're going to see the same thing this week where I think most of the teams we play have the potential to kick in the end zone, so which hurts us because we want to get in some of our returners' hands.
Oh, yeah.
And but you know, it's part of it.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. We'll play Friday night. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff there at Hardin Valley, home of the Hardin Valley Academy Hawks, right off Pellissippi Parkway there. Easy trip there. It's in West Knoxville, so you don't have to go through downtown to get there. We're going to wrap things up here on Talk 101.3 for L&B Appliance and Coach Damon Floyd. Thank you again for the coaches show each week. We enjoy talking with you and seeing what's going on with the Bears. I'd like to thank Mr. Glenn Schroeder and his group back here in Studio H12 at Bradley Central for the continued production of our programs here. Until next time, we'll say God bless and go Bears.